full day like that, your body needs a break.
Correct.
Your social interactions are all online. No, get out,
Very
just walk
common.
in nature. All this balance is very important. I think that please have a clear vision, not limit yourself. Have a good balance.
It's often said that anyone can be successful. The validity of this statement is clear when you look at the background of the most successful innovators and entrepreneurs. People from all walks of the life can achieve great success, regardless of how much money they start off with or what talent they may or may not have. Anyone has the potential to succeed in business. You may be asking yourself, if anyone can be successful, why is success still so rare? Hello and welcome to the Honest Talk by Freak Folks. I'm Harsh Pandey. For this particular session, we have with us very special guest joining us all the way from Ohio, Miss Adeline Sabrina McGarty, ma'am. She is an international inspirational keynote speaker, TEDx speaker, actress, acted in over 10 feature films, author, Jack Canfield certified trainer in the Success Principle, and a certified master mindset coach with a demonstrated history of influencing a wide range of audience, especially women and youth. Her purpose is to inspire and empower people through her talks, workshops, and the courses and the coaching programs to live the best version of themselves in line with their life purpose and contribution to the world. So, first of all, ma'am, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the great introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. It's our pleasure. And also, I would like to tell my viewers that, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that we have something for all of you, for all the viewers those who are watching this session. So please stay with us till the end. So, ma'am, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is redefining your success matters. Ma'am, I have actually read your recent book. In the very first chapter of your book, Redefining Your Success Matrix, you have started the chapter by raising question for the reader, and I'm very much impressed. Are you a successful person? What would you have? You are. What would you are? Your answer be? How do you measure your success? How others measure your success? Today, please, ma'am, let me allow this to ask same question to you. And being an author, what you expect the response from the reader to your question?
When I asked that question, it was a thought provoking question that I wanted to pose to the reader. And the responses that I am expecting are from three categories of people. One, there are people who think they are successful, but they are not. They have everything, they've followed everything to the dot, followed the rules, got up high, but they don't feel fulfilled. They feel meaningless and empty inside. So they think they're successful, but they're not. Then there's another category of people who are where they want to be. They're happy and content, but because the society has a different marker standard of success, they keep putting pressure on them, and now they are not even sure whether they are in the right place or not, because it may not look as fancy, as pleasing as the traditional markers of success. And then the third category, who don't know what success is, where they are, how to get there. There are 20 different directions they're getting pulled in, total confusion. So three categories: one, who think they're successful and they're not; another category, who are successful but they do not know they are successful; and third, who don't know anything, what success means to them and where they should go. So those are the three responses I'm expecting. Yeah.
I think you have addressed very genuine thing. And first, before reading or before starting what our success mean to us, we need to understand where we stand. So this is really amazing, and I truly impressed by this. But my next question to you is, or rather, it's a kind of request to you. What we have seen is that great American journalist, novelist, essayist, and the poet, the great Christopher Morley says, "There's only one success: to be able to spend your life in your own way." So, ma'am, my question to you is, what does it means to live your life your own way and living as you are. Because whenever if you decide you live a life your own way, then there is a lot of challenges comes in your way. And please explain our viewers.
uh, First of all, success means different to different people,
Right.
and uh, living a successful life in your own terms may again mean different to different people. For somebody like my mother, she worked till she was 70, and even after retirement she still wanted to work. She loved being with the students, she loved going to the job in the morning, working till. And for somebody else like me, before I was 30, I knew I did not want to work full-time job. I didn't want to answer to a boss. I had 20 different passions I wanted to promote. So for
Right.
everybody, success, working on your own terms means different.
Hmm.
For somebody it's starting a business, for somebody it's working till retirement, for somebody it's volunteering. So it is important to understand what success means to you in your own way. But the key is having the ability and the freedom, because many people want to do it but they don't have the freedom because of
Right.
a lot of different
Right.
constraints.
Correct.
Another thing is the ability. Maybe you don't have the means, so you may want to, yeah, I want to live my life supporting the human trafficking cause, but you don't have the means, so you'll have to build up and prepare yourself and plan for that means. So having the ability and the freedom to choose to live according to your purpose, according to your design. Like if you know you're designed to live in a certain way and you're living in
Right.
another way, that is a total inner conflict and you'll never be
Hmm.
satisfied. So having that freedom and ability is living on your own terms, however it means to you.
Indeed. So we need to accept that. And we have seen this. Many people are still living someone else's vision of life instead of what they actually want to do. We have one life, and it's essential that we live each day in the best possible way based on what we desire, our ethics, passion, and the vision we have of living our lives. Now, my next question to you is, what do you believe? How much important is one for to realize his her ambiguous thoughts about life?
Okay, so you talked about how everybody has a different vision and people are living different people's vision, and it's some people are not clear about
Yes, right.
what exactly. Yeah, so there is one category of people who are working so hard day night, tirelessly climbing up the ladder, up and up, and they finally get there on the top and realize it was a wrong ladder.
Correct.
It was not their ladder, it was somebody else's ladder that they were climbing. So the category of people is they don't even realize they were climbing somebody else's ladder. But Harsh, the worst thing is many people don't even know what is their own ladder. They
Hmm.
don't even know who they are. They do not even know what they were created for, what their design is, what their identity, what their values is. They do not know.
Correct.
The truth is each person is unique.
Hmm.
There cannot be a generalized statement that, oh, everybody do engineering, everybody do medicine, everybody, because that's how I grew up. I grew up in a very average middle class home in Mumbai, and that is the typical set mindset, that college, work, marriage, retire. That's how. Nobody tells you that, hey, you know what, you can think about starting a business, or why didn't you write a book, or
Correct.
you can take up acting. Nobody talks about that.
Yes.
There is a programming that has been done. So over years of this programming, and there's a period called imprint period psychologically. It is between the age of 0 to 5 or 6. That is a period where your beliefs and your values have already been imprinted upon you by your caregivers, cultures, surroundings, and all. And that plays a very important role in what how you live your life.
Hmm.
But we don't know it, and all that is covering who we really are. As we grow up, different experiences we face and different circles we are in, and then social media, and then Bollywood, hello Bollywood, all that influence, we lose ourselves. We
Yes.
don't know what we really want. If you ask people what do they want, they want what other people want. They don't know what they want, they don't know who they really are. So so following somebody else's vision is one thing, but not even knowing what you want, that
Correct.
is Harsh. That is tragedy. You don't even know what you want. So how will you get to what you want when you don't even know what you want?
Indeed, ma'am. I think you have stressed really on important thing, and we need to understand this. And this is something we all need to accept this. Ma'am, my next question to you is, or it's again a kind of request to you. Actually, this is a quite sensitive question, so I'm asking this. Asking this. How actually your life choices will always reflect your morals and beliefs, and how they will aid you in making a deliberate choice, and what is important to you.
That is a very, very, very critical question, Harsh, you're asking. And I wish every person on earth asked that question, because psychologically, there are a lot of research that have taken place, and 95% of the decisions we make, the choices we make, the way we respond to life, 95% of or above is dependent on our belief systems, our values. All right. Now, the second part of the question, you said deliberately live. Now, that is the twist, Harsh. Many people are not even aware that they are following a certain belief system. So there's no deliberation there. It's mostly autopilot.
Right.
An opportunity comes, you have a belief system that is holding you back. You don't know it, subconscious level, it's ingrained deep in, you don't even realize it, and you say, no, I don't want to do it. Why? That's a programming. It's like a calculator. If you have a calculator and you have programmed it to do additions, it will only do additions. Even if it has the capability of doing trigonometry and hyperbola, all those computations, it will only do additions because that's what it's programmed for. And our life, Harsh, and I want everyone to hear this, we cannot exceed our programming. We cannot exceed our belief systems. And we are limited. Many belief systems hold us back. They stop us from going ahead. And it's very important that we are aware of it. Awareness of our belief system is very key. And if you want, I can give you some examples of my
Sure,
own life, if that's okay with you.
sure,
like
definitely.
like some of the things growing up in India, some of the things you hear, and like one of the things we have learned is money cannot buy happiness,
Hmm.
right? Money cannot.
Absolutely.
So growing up and all the Bollywood influence and all that influence in
Right.
my mind, I was almost thinking money is negative. Money cannot buy happiness. So I was like, no, maybe poverty can buy happiness. Maybe the poor people are more happy. And money will make you lose sleep, and people who are rich are bad, and they're always unhappy, they're always having big people's problems. I don't want that. So that was a limiting belief within my middle class mindset. So for most of my life, Harsh, I ran away from money. I grew up in a good, well catered for home. I had everything I wanted, but too much looking for money was like, oh, that's for bad people. But over the last years, what I realized is money is just a tool. It's
Yes.
just a tool. It's like you're using a phone. I can use it for bad, I can use it for good.
Right.
The phone is neutral.
It's a tool. Right.
Money is very neutral. It is not good, bad. You use it for good, and a lot of good can come out of money. Because I thought, oh, I don't want money, but to be very honest, it's the last 10 years where I realized that if I have more money, I can support people more. I can do more good. Like, I have a heart for the youth, underprivileged youth. I want to run on and do something for them. I want to do for them free. I'm limited. But if I have more money, I can do more. And when they say money does not buy happiness, who said that? For me to be happy is if I give somebody something and they smile, it makes me happy. How did I do that? Because of money. So money in some way does buy happiness. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So now that is one very simple, practical example of a limiting belief
You are
system.
right.
We need to ask ourselves when we are making a decision, ask yourself, why did I say no? Why am I saying yes? What is is it true? Uh, are there people who are rich, who are all rich people are bad? Is ask those questions, and you have to literally deprogram yourself. Like, remember, I gave you the example of the calculator. It's only programmed to do 1 plus 1. Albert Einstein said, you cannot exceed your training. You cannot exceed your programming. You have to deprogram yourself, which is possible.
Yes.
Remember, you were programmed, so you can deprogram it. It is totally possible. Each of you viewer, you can deprogram yourself and reprogram yourself to just think big, to go for the best, to live your purpose, live your maximum design. Do not settle. So
Right.
that's, sorry, that was a longer answer.
It was really a very wonderful answer, and the things which you have told, I think it is going to benefit me, and I'm sure the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are surely going to take something important from this session. I'm very sure about this, ma'am. And again, I have to say it's a kind of privilege today we got to hear all those things from you, ma'am. And one more thing, what we have observed is that these days our social media, our life is very much influenced by the social media. And after this pandemic, we all are into very social, means we all are very active into this social media. And we need to understand one thing is that our daily lives have been digitalized, tracked, and tied up in matrices. Our real selves have split into online avatars and profile pictures and status updates. A virtual life is sunny and bright. It's where you post your prettiest picture and tell us all your best news. But is it real? Most importantly, is it healthy?
um, is it healthy for me to post positive things? Well, for me, I think it's healthier for me to post positive things than negative things, honestly. There are some people who are only posting negative things. When things go bad, you post it. Those are the highlights. Nobody wants to hear that. There's already negativity in the world. If you want more negativity, turn on the news, full of negativity. Check the newspaper. There is negativity. So nobody wants to really see all those things.
No, right.
But for you as the viewer, when you're seeing social media, understand it is social media. There is an agenda there. There is some people are there just to feel good. Some people are trying to escape from their life. So the thing is, if you're there, understand why you're doing it. Is it just to connect with friends? But if you're there just to scroll through endlessly on people's things, and then you see them all happy and, oh, Hawaii or Jamaica, and then you feel bad about yourself, just disconnect your Facebook account, because that is not the purpose of a
Correct.
Facebook. And there is more distraction. I have a Facebook group that I created last year, because in the midst of all the negativity that was going on last year, the pandemic, and then there was a lot of political tension and racial tension, and everybody in Facebook was hating each other, I stopped going to Facebook because it was not benefiting.
Right.
And then I realized that in let me create something positive. So I created something positive, a positive zone of inspiration where it's positivity, inspirational. And when I tell some people about it, they're like, oh, I'm not on Facebook, but let me join Facebook for that group. I said, please don't.
Yes.
If you're not on Facebook, if you're not on social media, it's okay. And there's a research done, Harsh, that on average, social media usage daily for an internet user is about 145 minutes, more
Hmm.
than 2 hours, which means in a year, it is about more than 700 hours in a year. And I want each of you viewer who is watching, out of the 700 hours that you're spending in a year, are you benefiting from it? Are you becoming a better person? Is it adding value
Value.
to you?
Yes.
Any bit, is it adding value? Are you making some money out of it? Are the connections you're making, are they real? Are you having more social media friends than real, genuine, close friends?
Of
Or is it
course.
just superficial, just hi, bye, good morning, good? Really, please, my dear friends, with all my love, I'm telling you, don't waste your precious, valuable resource of time, 700 plus hours on Facebook or any other social media, if you're not benefiting anything, because
Right.
you can do so much more with that 700 plus hours. Yeah, and if you are there, be mindful. People are putting the highlights, not behind the scenes.
Yes.
There is highlights and behind the
Right.
scenes. Nobody's putting behind the scenes. You don't want, it'll be boring to see behind the scenes. So they're only putting highlights, happy faces. Everyone goes through ups and downs. Everybody has challenges. They will not put that. So be mindful. Do not feel less, more, anything because of what you're seeing there.
Right, ma'am. Again, it was a very meaningful answer from your side. And I'm sure the viewers who are watching this session, they have surely taken great things from this. Ma'am, we have talked much about success. We have talked about life and choices. My next question to you is, ma'am, what are the some tips or advices would you like to suggest to young millennials?
Uh, I love them. Done a lot of work with the millennials. My children are millennials, so I really love that age group. First of all, whatever people are telling you, let me tell you, you're living in a wonderful time. You are living in a time where opportunities are endless,
Correct.
possibilities are limitless. You are living in a time where you're not just restricted to your city or your country. The whole globe is
Hmm.
at your fingertips. So
Right.
you are living in such a prime time. You have, so people will say, oh, this is the worst time to live in. No, you are living in a great time. So just believe that, accept that you are not limited. When we were growing up, it was so limited. We had just a few options on our fingertips. Now you education, jobs, business, anything, there are a lot of opportunities. So remember that. Don't let anyone put you down that, oh God, you are in the best time. All right, so remember that. Now, having said that, I want to um, can I give like 2, 3 tips? I hope it's
Sure.
okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Welcome.
First of all, I want to remind you all that your life is your responsibility. Okay. Most of the millennials I have interacted with is their parents have worked extra hard, and it's a life is a little easier for
Hmm.
most of the
Correct.
millennials. And I may be wrong, and sorry about that, but it's a little easier where things have been kind of set for you. But I want to tell you, your life is your responsibility. Your parents are there, your guardians are there,
Hmm.
your teachers are there, but you are responsible for your life. No one really owes you anything. So you need to get out of that entitlement mentality. Oh, my parents made me do this. Oh, my boss made me do this. Oh, my neighbor did made me do this. Oh, my culture made. No, your life, your responsibility. Every choice you make, there's a consequence. All right. Secondly, with all the opportunities that you have, all the this, it's so easy to be confused. I mean, naturally, there's so much to choose from. I want to challenge you. Take some time and think about what exactly you want 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. What is your vision? Okay? Do not think of what the neighbors want or
Hmm.
what your friends are want. What do you want? Think about it clearly in terms of different areas, your profession and your relationship and all that, and reverse engineer it to what you need to do today for the future. Because
Correct.
many millennials I have met are living in the today. They're happy today. They're not thinking about 20 years from now, going, this is distracted, this is doing that, you're doing it halfway, something else is distracting, which is a bit understood. But think about what you want. Remember, do not limit your mind. Okay, if you have any beliefs that are holding you back, deal with it. Join my Facebook group. I give a lot of training on how to break those blocks and all.
Yes.
But break those blocks. If anybody's telling you, oh, apne aukad mein rahe, keep in your lane, no, tell them, who told you my
Yes.
aukad? Who is defining that?
Correct.
I have no limit. I can fly. I can do what I want to do. And I want to tell you guys, you can do what you want to do with the right tools and strategies. The opportunities are there. So do not limit yourself. Oh no, I'm from this small village in this unknown does not matter. So when you're having that vision, do not limit yourself. Have it very clear. Don't be hazy. This is have
Uh,
clear and reverse engineer to what you need to do today. If you start today, you will definitely get there. When I was in my 20s, I decided I do not want to work full time for the rest of my life. I saw people 50, 50s, 60s working, and I'm in my 20s. I'm like, no, I cannot do that. I will not be 50 in this office. Never mind whatever promotion, because that's my design. Everybody is different and I respect everybody. But start now. All right. Another thing I want to tell you, my dear friends, I love you so much. I want to tell you this.
Mm.
Balance
Indeed,
your
ma'am.
life. Balance your life. Because I've seen it in our generation also and the previous generation. People are like so busy with the career and then their health is gone. That they're dying in their heart, giving a heart attack in their 40s, or somebody is busy volunteering and their family is ignored, and you've no relationship with your uh, wife and the children, or you're busy chasing your passion. I want to paint, I want to dance, I want to, but you don't have money to pay your bills. There is a balance of life. All right. And that's another tool which I can share with. I have that free tool. But you please balance your life and start now. And the different areas of balance which I teach, there are 8 areas, which is your career, your health, your finances, your relationships, your mental growth, your recreation, your spiritual growth, and your contribution to the world. All right. So all that, balance it out, and at any point, a little maybe out of balance, but keep it together. Do not neglect main, like health. It starts now. It starts right now. I'm seeing many millennials stuck to the computer, full day on the computer or full day like that. Your body needs a break.
Correct.
Your social interactions are all online. No, get
This
out,
is
just
very
walk
common.
in nature. All this balance is very important. So, my dear friends, please have a clear vision. Do not limit yourself. Have a good balance.
Right.
So, the final thing I want to tell the millennials is enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. You have your dream set, you have your plan set, but many times what I'm seeing is we are living in this instant gratification situation. Most millennials, you're used to just clicking a button and you get this, clicking a button, you get that. Even clothes, even we order dog food online, so everything is, you can just
Yes.
click a button. So it's like
Liquid and
instant, instant, instant.
instant.
We grew up and we did not even have a remote. We had to
Correct.
get up to change the channels, but millennials don't even know what that means, getting up to change. So we are so used to instant that you are forgetting to enjoy the journey.
Mm.
Any journey, any dream that is significant takes time. So remember that, don't just focus on the end, but enjoy every stage of your life.
So it was a really very wonderful answer, and the things which you have told, I think it will surely impact the people those who are watching this session. And also, as I've told in the beginning of this session, that we are going to give some kind of gift to all the viewers those who are watching this session. So those who stayed till this point, so I request you, ma'am, to please reveal that gift.
Okay. So this is a guide that I've made to create your a plan for your life to reach your dreams. So it's a step-by-step guide. I've called it the goal success planning guide. So you have your goals and how can you actually get it done. So the whole process is explained in this simple guide. It starts with vision, because I believe if you can think it, you can achieve it. If you
Correct.
can dream, you can achieve it. So this is this whole process of how you first dream it, and then you start extracting goals out of it, and how the goals have to be very clear. Not, oh, I want to be healthy. That's not a goal. You
Mm.
will not get there. So how you can clearly define your goals in a systematically science-based way, and how you can turn that goals into action, and how you can actually get moving to turn your dreams into reality. So that's a guide that I'm offering for free. So you have the link, so you're
Yes.
welcome, just sign up. And even there are more success tools on my site that I'm giving free. So I hope some of those will help.
Thank you, ma'am. So, the viewers who are watching this session, I would like to tell you that you are going to find all kinds of the link to Success Tool, and the link to a link of our Facebook group and link of our website in the description of this video. So kindly don't forget to check this. And thank you, ma'am, for joining and giving your important time. It was a very wonderful discussion with you over the topic. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you too. It's
Thank you so
so
much.
happy to be with the Freak Folks team, and Thank you for inviting me. It's such an honor to be with you
It was
guys.
absolute pleasure for all of us. Ma'am, thank you so much.
On the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.